thanks all the organizers who helped us to come here. We are as a group to come here from Palestine. It's very important to talk to the people outside, to show them our culture, even to talk or to tell them about our stories through pictures and the short films. My name is Mohammed Al Azza, and I'm originally from Belgium, where my grandparents come from after 1948. I was born and growing up in Aida refugee camp, and I still live in this camp with my family. Aida, it's the same story as the other refugees camp, which was established in 1950. In beginning, it was empty land. The United Nations they rent this land for 99 years. And then each family who arrived to this camp, they give them a tent. They live under tent between 5 to 6 years. And after that, they start building them small rooms. Today, completely, the houses looks different than before. It's become more life in the camp difficult, more crowded, even no privacy between the families, because really the house is very close to each other. So to live in a refugee camp, it is big suffering, it's a big problem. Besides this, the occupation make it more worse for us in Aida camp. And especially the second Intifada, Aida camp, one of the most places, was attacked by the Israeli army and is still attacked by the Israeli army. I don't want to say daily, but at least day after day in Aida camp, and flooded during the day, they come in the middle of the night. And most of the reason they come just to train their soldiers. As they say, the best places for training their soldiers, the refugees camp. 2 days ago, which is not the first time, they were in our organization, which is Lajee. It is a culturing center, work with youth and children. It was no any reason for them to come to occupy the center. They put snipers in the roof. They start shooting at people from the center. They put some people in one of the rooms and they didn't let them to leave the room. More than one time they attacked us in this organization because this occupier, he doesn't want us to see us educated people or doing something good for ourselves. So always he trying to break each dream we try to do it or working for it. I work as a journalist in Palestine, as a freelancer with different news agencies inside Palestine and outside Palestine. Besides this, I started with Lajee Center when I was 10 years old. So Lajee kind of the second family for me. I learned a lot from this organization. Since 2005, I started learning, taking pictures through the center. And then I became more interested to learn more and more about this work. Until 2009, we had a project and we opened the media unit in the center. And now I'm leading this unit and teaching kids and youth to do short films beside my work. I did my own. For us in Aida camp and in Palestine in general, to have a media unit in each place, it's very important for us. If I'm talking about our camp before 2005, a lot of actions happened. And no one knows how to use camera, or even the journalists, they were afraid to come to our camp and to cover the situation and what happened. So after I start learning, really it's become became more interesting to learn more and more about it. Because I feel it's very important for us to have to cover the whole situation in the camp. And this is the chance also for us as a Palestinian to talk to the people outside Palestine, which is to reflect the truth image about our life, because of the Israeli media, which is occupying the whole world, and which is the people, when they hear the news about Palestine, they give the wrong news about us and not the truth image. So now in our hand, we can talk about ourselves, show the pictures and images and about the daily life in Aida camp too. And at the same time, to be a journalist is not easy work. Maybe people they thinking journalists always they don't attack them, the Israeli army, but it's very difficult to take pictures sometime when there is invasion to Bethlehem or to Aida where I work. Many Palestinian journalists and internationally journalists were killed and shot or get arrested, or they break their cameras because just they were documenting one of the invasions. Personally, more than one time they broke my camera. More than one time they took the footage I was filming and all the time shouting at me to leave the whole area when they are around the camp or inside the camp. So they don't want me to be like film or capture anything they doing. And always like having trouble with them and they ask me like they ask me to leave the area and I tell them like I will not leave, I'm doing my work, I'm not doing something wrong. And beginning like they shot at me in the beginning, it was like not something big, it was something small. 2013, which is the biggest thing that happened to me, when I was taking pictures of one of the invasions of the Israeli army to Aida camp, and I was in the center in the second floor in the balcony, and for 2 hours I was taking pictures of the soldiers. It was a very strange day for me in that day, which is they don't say anymore to me for 2 hours, and then I kept like taking pictures. After 2 hours they come back and they stop in front of me, so the space between me and them about 10 meters. And one of the soldiers, he shouted and he told me, go home. And which is, he said like in Arab, just go home. And usually I don't listen, to be honest, but for me that day it wasn't like something big. So I just like decided to close the window of the balcony, and the moment I tried to close the door of the balcony, I just saw the flash of the soldier fire, and he shot me in my face. They call it rubber bullet, which is steel metal bullet. Many people killed through the rubber bullet, which is people when they heard it in the news. Rubber bullet may sound like fine and it's not something big, but to be honest, it is very dangerous. Which is when I get shot, like that some of the doctors says like if it was live bullet, it will not make a lot of damage in your face as the rubber bullet does. In the end, I just in the beginning I had 2 surgeries. The first one, they took the bullet out of my face. The second one, take them 8 hours. They found no bones they can use in my face. The eye affected. They took a bone from my side and they put it under the eye and 7 pieces of platinum. I stayed in hospital 17 days, and then when I came back home, the first night I stayed and people started coming to my home. At 12, I went to my sister, which is living next to us. At 1, about 40 soldiers, they surrounded our home with dogs and masks, and they broke the door and they started taking my family out and asking for me. And my mother told them after they damaged most of the house, what are you looking for? And they said like, why you want him? Why you want Muhammad? And he said, we just wanted to see him, how he's doing. And she told him like, you shot him and now you're coming to arrest him, what do you want from his life? I said, just tell us where is he. And she told him, he's not here. If you want him, go find him in the hospital. He doesn't come back here. After that, like for 2 months, I didn't stay home. After 2 months, I decided to back to my home. The first night I come back, hundreds of soldiers occupied my home. The same way, in the middle of the night, wake up with my family, my uncles, my family, the whole family. So like for 40 minutes, like when they were looking for me, they beat most of the family. And then they find me, and they put me just on the floor, and they start beating me like about 10 soldiers when they catch me in one of the rooms. And what I was remembering like in that moment, as I was saying, beat me wherever you want, but don't hit me like in the face. So yeah, like I've been for 11 days in the jail. I went through interrogation, and it was the main reason for the whole situation I go through, because I was documenting all the invasions, the camp, or all the, in general, daily life in Aida camp. And then I told him, what is wrong with that? I'm doing everything right, and if I'm scared of what I'm doing, I will not publish it in the internet. So In the end, like 5 courts I went. Each court they tried to make a new reason, put me in charge for anything, just to charge me in prison. Then they find nothing, and then the judge he said will release you. But that doesn't mean your case is finished until we have more details about your arrest. We'll be come again and arresting you. And I have to go every month for the military court and waiting for hours. So since 2013, July 2013, until today, almost every month, 2 months, I go to this military court, waiting for hours, and then they told me at the end of the day, go home and come next month. So just they want like to give me more hard time. So in the end, for me as a Palestinian, I'm not the first person who gets shot. Lots of the group who were with us, the guys and these children, they were shot and in prison, even martyrs from their families. Each person where I live, he has his own story to tell about the suffer from the occupation and the suffer to living in a refugee camp. That soldier, if he thought, if he shot me, I was scared, I will stop doing this work, he was wrong. To be honest, he just gave me more power to continue this work, and I felt after I get shot how much important to do this work and to show to the people outside Palestine. So that's make me decide to continue with this work, whatever will happen to me. So